is up, YouTube? How are y'all doing today? Hey, it's a freaking great day. Let me tell you something. I wanted to have this video done yesterday. Mother Nature and the good Lord said, yeah, you're going to wait a day, bud. So I did, and here I am. Anyway, so update. The green Arctic Cat 500, gone, sold. Funny story behind that one. I thought about telling y'all the story behind it, but frankly, I'm afraid I'll just piss some of y'all off, and it's just not worth telling the story. Anyway, so on to the next one. The F-150 is all but sold at this point. I've got someone coming by to look at it this coming up weekend, so you know, I'm hoping that goes through. If not, I know a buddy of mine that I work with is going to wind up buying it because he's selling his SRT8 Jeep. Because he's getting ready to move and he wants to move to a track hawk, but he's moving and needs a truck, a beater. So I was like, hey, buy the F-150, it'll work just fine for you. So that's coming up soon. That's a wrap on the F-150. No more videos of that. It was a great truck, good project. I really enjoyed it, but I'm moving on. So let's get right down to it. I have a new build. All right, I'm done with cars. I'm done with the NCDMV. I'm done dealing with the BS of paperwork. I'm dealing strictly in off-road vehicles. So no more titles, no more registration, no more BS. That's the build. 2009 Kawasaki Teryx 750 V-twin 4-wheel drive with diff lock. All right. So how this came about, I was scrolling Facebook one day and I came across this thing. And I read through the ad and it said, it runs like crap when it warms up. I'm like, okay, at least it runs. It runs and drives. So I went down to Conway, South Carolina to a place called Revive Powersports. Guys, follow them. All right, they've got a Razor on 42s with 6-inch portals. They're getting ready to build. They're getting ready to do a really big build. All right, follow them on YouTube. At Revive Powersports. Anyway, get to Conway. And I walk, I meet the guy, I shake his hand, I walk in the door, and I'm just immediately just mind boggled. Okay, I'm talking brute forces, Can-Ams, Outlanders, Commanders, Razors, Honda, Fortraxes. I mean, he's got everything, and he owns 2. All right, he has 2 of his own builds in there. Everything else is customers, and it's all because he can't get parts. Cannot get parts for anything. Guys, this is why I'm telling you, okay, this guy owns a power sports shop and he doesn't sell anything. He makes all of his money on repairs, but he's got bikes that have been there for months. Anyway, moving on. So we walk in there and this thing's just sitting there in the entranceway, right? And I'm like, holy crap, thing's a monster. So we get to walking around, get to looking at it, and he's got like 2 jump boxes hooked up to this thing, just trying to get to start, and it won't start, and it won't start, and it won't start. Finally, he gets us to start. We bring it outside. I'm like, dude, just put in the trailer. I'm taking it. We'll talk about price later. Because basically the problem is, when it gets hot, it cuts off a cylinder, it doesn't run with the crap, it just has no power. But all that said and done, let's just go ahead and do a walk around and I'll explain the build to you and kind of what I have in my mind already for what I'm going to do. All right. 09 T-Rex 750 V-twin motor. You can take this off, take this off, take this off, and you can see the entire engine. It's excellent. It's awesome. I have the oil change kit in the garage already. I'm going to be doing that this weekend probably. It's got 27-inch Journey, basically Maxxis knockoff tires. 27-10-14 front, 27-12-14 back. It's got awesome, really awesome looking shocks with the reservoirs and everything. It does have a winch, a traveler winch that does work, so it's pretty awesome. I'm pretty stoked about it. It does have wheel spacers behind the wheels. Probably going to be taking those off because I don't like how they look. I don't like how much it sticks out. I think it's just excessive. So I'm probably going to take the wheel spacers off. I already have an air box ordered because that debacle is disappearing. It's going to be going away. Guys, it looks like shit. Let me show you. It looks like absolute crap. Look at this. You see a problem here? What's the problem there? Yeah, exactly. That's going to be going away. I'm going back to the factory air box. Factory filter. Dump bed is my favorite part of this whole thing. Diamond plate. Steel diamond plate. Obviously, these are not Teryx bucket tractor seats. They're out of a Razor. I think they look fantastic. They complete the whole bike. So, moving on from there, it does have custom front and rear bumpers from EMP. They're staying 100%. It's got HMF mufflers. They're going because the packing in this one is destroyed. I looked in there the other night and it was red hot back here in the back and black up here in the front. So they're gonna be coming off. Don't know if I'm going back to factory or if I'm gonna run like big gun or just a new style HMF. I'm not sure yet. So plastics are kind of rough, but that's fine. I'm not really worried about it. I think I'm gonna leave them. I may look at getting a new bedside, but I probably won't. It just doesn't fit. I just think I want to leave it because it's an older machine and it deserves that respect. This ammo can is coming out. It's bolted to it right now. So it's coming out because I need a place to put my ammo. So that's going to be going away. All this crap's going to be going away. I am not going to do a lift because it doesn't need one. It has excellent stance as it is. Lift's going to be absolutely not. No. As far as for under here, everything's really sanitary. That's your wiring for your winch and that's it. Everything else is sanitary. The only thing I have to look into is there's supposed to be a coolant reservoir somewhere. I have yet to find it. And I could just be not looking in the right area. So I got to find a coolant reservoir. But the radiator is switched to a manual switch. It's hooked to a manual switch, which I like. But anyway, guys, that's the new build. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to come on that. I don't plan on getting rid of this instantly. I'm going to do some work to it. It's going to be getting dropped off at Precision Cycle here next week for them to really tear into the engine, do some valve adjustments, change the top end gaskets, etc., etc. I do a lot of bolt-on, bolt-off shit. I don't do engine work. It's just not my forte. It's not what I'm good at. I can bolt anything on, I can take anything off, but I don't do engine work. But that's it. So now with that being said, my brother is buying the red Wildcat Trail 700. So when he buys that, that frees up some cash for me to go back and do some flips while I'm working on this. So stay tuned for that. Also, finally, this last weekend, well, 2 weekends ago, went and picked up the Wolverine, baby. It's back. The Wolverine 700, some of y'all may have forgotten about. I have it back, and I still have the lift for it, so I'm still going to be doing that. That's coming up in a future video. I told you the other night in my last video, and I'll tell you again, my channel is not that big. However, I thank all of you who have viewed my videos, liked, commented, shared, everything. I thank you, and I ask you just to keep going. Let's blow this channel up. The more you hype me up, the more I'll hype y'all up. So anyway, I will leave a link for Revive Powersports in the description down below. Check them out, dude. They do some awesome stuff out of Conway, South Carolina. But other than that, y'all, peace out. Have a good night.